Joint Task Force 2 is an elite special operations force of the Canadian Forces, primarily tasked with counter-terrorism operations. JTF-2 serves alongside the Canadian Special Operations Regiment, the Canadian Joint Incident Response Unit and 427 Special Operations Aviation Squadron as part of the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. The unit is currently based at Dwyer Hill, near Ottawa, Ontario, and plans to move to a new facility to be built at CFB Trenton by 2019. Much of the information regarding Joint Task Force 2 is classified, and is not commented on by the Government of Canada. History. In 1992, Deputy Minister of Defence Robert Fowler announced he was recommending to Governor-General Ray Nathishine that he disband the Royal Canadian Mounted Police's Special Emergency Response Team and create a new military counter-terrorism group. The decision was made largely because the Canadian Forces offered a greater pool of recruits for the program than civilian police forces, and it stemmed the public uproar about police being taught to use primarily lethal means. In early 1993, the unit was activated with just over 100 members, primarily drawn from the Canadian Airborne Regiment and Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. They were given the SEOT facility on Dwyer Hill Road near Ottawa as their own base of operations, and permanently parked a Greyhound bus and a DC-9 aircraft on the grounds for use in training. Its first scheduled action was Operation Campus, the protection of highways and water treatment plants around the Oka Reserve while a police force tried to crack down on smuggling on the native reserve, immediately following the Oka crisis. However, two daily newspapers in Quebec revealed the operation just days before it was to go into action, and it was cancelled. The federal budget of December 2001 allocated approximately $120 million over 6 years to expand unit capabilities and double its size to an estimated 600 personnel, as part of the overall plan following the attacks of September 11, 2001. Operations Bosnia JTF-2 forces were inserted into Bosnia, operating in 2 to 4 man teams hunting for Serbian snipers who were targeting UN forces at the Sniper Alley. They were scheduled to free approximately 55 hostages in Operation Freedom 55, but the mission was cancelled as the Bosnian Serbs released all the prisoners voluntarily. Afghanistan, 2001 Euro 2012 Approximately 40 JTF-2 assaulters were sent to southern Afghanistan in early December 2001, although the Canadian public was not informed of the deployment, following the American declaration of a war on terror. However, in Sean M. Maloney's book Enduring the Freedom, it was reported that JTF-2 was secretly deployed without Prime Minister Jean Cochrane 10's permission in early October 2001. Several months later, The Globe and Mail published an image on its front page showing operators in distinctive forest green Canadian Forces combat uniforms delivering captured prisoners to the Americans. This prompted an outcry in Parliament as MPs were never informed these operations were underway. Vice Admiral Greg Madison was called before the Standing Committee on Procedure and House Affairs to address claims that Minister of Defence Art Eggleton had purposely misled the public and the government, even failing to inform the Prime Minister that JTF-2 had been operating in Afghanistan. In 2004, an estimated 40 members of JTF-2 serving with Task Force K-Bar were awarded the Presidential Unit Citation by the U.S. government for service in Afghanistan. While serving with Task Force K-Bar, Vice Admiral Robert Howard, a U.S. Navy SEAL, stated that the JTF-2 team under his command was his first choice for any direct action. Very little is known on JTF-2 operations in Afghanistan, but during a conference the former Chief of Defense Staff, General Rick Hillier, stated that JTF-2 is in high demand, and that they are considered to be world-class. He went on to say that the unit is providing direct support to the Afghan government and is targeting the Taliban leadership in southern Afghanistan. He stated that trying to help neutralize those leaders is a key part of their role and that's what they will continue to do. Haiti In 1996, JTF-2 deployed to Haiti to advise the security forces of President Rena Pra on methods to repel the Revolutionary Army, train local SWAT teams and raid weapons smugglers in Port-au-Prince. According to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, JTF-2 was also in Haiti at the time that Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide was ousted from power in 2004. They protected the Canadian embassy and secured the airport. Iraq 2006 On March 23, 2006, the Pentagon and the British Foreign Office both commented on the instrumental role JTF-2 played in rescuing the British and Canadian Christian peacemaker team that were being held hostage in Iraq. Involvement of JTF-2 was not confirmed by Canadian officials. Other actions There has been much speculation in the Canadian media on possible JTF-2 operational deployments. As of 2001, the unit had 297 members, but by the end of the year, with the war on terror becoming a reality, the federal government announced their intentions to increase it to 600 members within 4 years. Vice Admiral Dean McFadden also confirmed that JTF-2 would take a role in securing the 2010 Winter Olympics and 2010 Winter Paralympics. JTF-2 has also acted as bodyguards to Canadians traveling abroad, notably accompanying Lieutenant General Maurice Barrell and Raymond Crick. Copyright 10 to Zaire in November 1996. When photographs provided to the media were revealed to show the faces of JTF-2 forces, they were redacted and reissued with the faces removed. In 1998, they accompanied General Romeo Dallaire to Tanzania where he was due to testify against a Rwandan Hutu official accused of complicity in the 1994 genocide. They similarly accompanied war crimes prosecutor Louise Arbour into Kosovo. In early November 2000, conservative defense critic David Price stated that JTF-2 had been deployed to Kosovo. However, this was denied by Prime Minister Jean Crick. Copyright 10 and Defense Minister Art Eggleton. In his book Enduring the Freedom, Sean M. Maloney reported that during operations in Afghanistan, Canada's JTF-2 was the only foreign unit accepted to join American Tier 1 Special Operations units, such as 1st SFODD and Devouin Task Force 11 whose job it was to hunt high-value Al-Qaeda and Taliban personnel and to conduct sensitive site exploitation. The unit was believed to be operating with the Special Air Service and Special Boat Service in Operation Mobile, the Canadian operation in the 2011 Libyan civil war. Unit accountability: on December 21, 2006, a federal court judge rejected a request to proceed with a court-martial against an unnamed JTF-2 officer, accused of assaulting and mistreating a subordinate, because court-martial requests require that the accused be named. The judge suggested that they explore other avenues to proceed with the court-martial. JTF-2 has acknowledged the death of one member. Master Corporal Anthony Klumpenhoer, 25, died on April 18, 2007, after falling off a communications tower in Kandahar, Afghanistan. In 2010, the investigation into Klumpenhoer's death was completed, and revealed that he had been knocked unconscious by a surge of electricity of unknown origin. Equipment. References in popular culture. In 2002, author David Pugliese published a book, Canada's Secret Commandos, The Unauthorized Story of Joint Task Force 2. In 2008, Dennis Morissette, a former member of JTF-2, published a book about JTF-2, named NASA Copyright TIONS Invincibles. JTF-2's secrecy kept the unit out of the Canadian public eye for quite some time, though it did appear in the Tom Clancy Rainbow Six video game series. A character named Roger McCallan, who was part of the former Royal Canadian Mounted Police SEOT, ported over to JTF-2 when they were handed over responsibility for counter-terrorism duties in 1993. The television series The Border and Flashpoint featured characters who served with the JTF-2. In March 2012, EA's Medal of Honor, Warfighter trailer released worldwide. The game focuses on Tier 1 Special Forces groups around the world, and includes JTF-2 as a playable unit in multiplayer mode. See also: Canadian Airborne Regiment, Devil's Brigade, Emergency Response Team, the RCMP branch dedicated to paramilitary operations. References. External links. Official website, CBC background on JTF-2, JTF-2 scopes trained on Taliban elite, JTF-2 info and pictures.